This is an interesting time to be alive in Tulsa, specifically to be a black person.
Tulsa, Oklahoma is undergoing a rapid change. Once known as an oil capital of the world, the Midwestern city now has its sights set on a new title, the nation's most inclusive tech hub.
Where we are right now is in Greenwood right now, and this is what's left kind of historic Black Wall Street.
Tyrance Billingsley is a native Tulsan and the founder of Black Tech Street. He's working to attract entrepreneurs and investments into Tulsa's budding tech scene.
Part of what Black Tech Street means to do is to be this banner that inspires black people to say, I'm what the next tech CEO can look like. I'm what the technologist that might help solve climate change looks like.
Black Tech Street reimagines a new legacy for the awful events of 1921, when a white mob wiped out the Greenwood district, also known as Black Wall Street. The property damage alone was roughly $25 million in today's money. Movie theaters, grocery stores, libraries were all razed to the ground, businesses that made this one of America's most prosperous black neighborhoods.
When I heard about the massacre, to be honest, I didn't actually focus on the massacre. What was incredible to me was the fact that I grew up on the grounds of what was once the most prosperous African-American community of entrepreneurs in the history of the country. I mean, that's to a young person who wants to find out that there's something special about them. It's like Hagrid telling Harry he was a wizard. It's like, that's some incredible lineage.
I remember when I first heard about it, and that was in 9th grade, Oklahoma history. But it wasn't until very recently that I really learned about the actual atrocities that occurred.
Mikhail Vaughn has returned to Tulsa after 10 years of living in Japan. He now leads Urban Coders Guild, a nonprofit that provides computer sciences training and opportunities for black and brown youth.
I had an amazing life in Tokyo, but what I didn't have was a sense of purpose. As a young man who grew up in Tulsa, I knew that it was my responsibility, my obligation, really, to come home and provide those same opportunities.
In their classes, the Guild teaches middle and high school students how to build websites, create apps, and digital games.
Last year we did the Black Wall Street Business Directory. Super proud of that project. Kiddos spent about half a year learning how to build a website, HTML, CSS, a bit of Java. We put them all together and we created a website that focused on all the businesses that existed in historic Greenwood to really celebrate those entrepreneurs, what they were able to build, and then imagining if those businesses existed today, they would most likely have a website. The kiddos are building websites, they're building mobile apps, they're building their own games, and this really just isn't something that our schools have the capacity to teach right now. We want to do something fun and innovative and make sure that this is available to kids across our school district.
And initiatives like Vaughn's aren't the only to have recognized education as the key to making the vision of Tulsa as a leader for tech a reality.
I love working with entrepreneurs. I love knowing what people are dreaming about.
Taylor is another native Tulsan. In her role, she provides education for entrepreneurs, specifically from black, brown, and under-resourced communities.
And I think one of the most rewarding experiences for me is when someone sits in my office and says, wow, I didn't even know that I was this close. A lot of times when I'm working with under-resourced entrepreneurs, no one is thinking about how to scale their business into 15 different states right away. People are thinking, how do I make money on just 1 or 2 customers? And being able to say, well, hey, do you know this person? Hey, did you know that we have this loan program? Let's put it all on the board and see what are your multiple options here.
Together, Taylor, Vaughn, and Billingsley form part of what is becoming a budding ecosystem of support that has been sorely lacking in this community.
The origin of actually Black Tech Street is, I began to ask myself the question, what could Black Wall Street have been had it been supported and not destroyed? And, looking at the level of tenacity that it took for these black entrepreneurs to build these incredible businesses during Jim Crow, that smashing through walls, thinking outside of the box, it reminded me a lot of the tech industry. And when I coupled that with the fact that technology is one of the only industries you can build intergenerational wealth in 7 to 10 years in. And that by the year 2030, there'll be 4.3 million vacant tech jobs due to a tech talent shortage. I not only saw an incredible wealth building opportunity for black people, I kind of saw the Black Wall Street vision pushed to a new horizon.
How do we stimulate the wealth and the essence and the spirit that used to live here? And what I have found personally in the work that I'm doing is that the spirit still is here. All eyes are on us. So what a better time than now?